a shift in tactic here, Mike. I don't know. We don't know how far back they are because you can't change, and we don't want you to change the shot.
We've seen them gotten close a couple times, but you imagine a significant amount of coordination between the agencies here to try to communicate a possible path of where this person might go, even though there doesn't seem to appear to be any sort of plan. It of course got way more dangerous when you get off the interstate.
Absolutely.
Because it's much more close quarters, and one slight miscalculation can mean a really bad crash. And then you also have this as well, getting when he's back on I-57.
And you've got this speed, and anytime you've got this level of speed, the slightest mistake can be deadly. And it's a very frightening situation for those around them. They can't necessarily see what's coming, and this guy's definitely this person is definitely driving erratically on the shoulder.
There is a large curve that's coming up here that again is another dangerous situation where I've covered a lot of accidents. Northbound 57, when you go north of Monterey to 111th Street, there's a big curve that comes up on 107th Street. If you're driving without traffic, it can be very, very dangerous. And then we're about a mile away from this either turning into the Dan Ryan, and I don't want to predict here, but if I had to, I would say this vehicle will probably head east as 57 goes east and then go right back south on I-94 rather than heading into the city. They are still pursuing very vigorously, though, behind. We see 2 state troopers that are trailing here as safely as they can. They're basically about a quarter mile behind. We also see squads now above on 99th Street, and there's that curve there. It's going underneath 107th Street on the right shoulder. You saw that Chicago squad going eastbound. They're all communicating in what's called the ISPERN network. They all communicate in situations like this with each other. Look at this vehicle picking up speed now, northbound at the 103rd, and again, I-57 on the shoulder. This is going to make a northbound turn, and if you ever drive I-57, this is the turn around Halstead. In a matter of about 10 seconds here, it's going to have to turn right and then head eastbound towards the Dan Ryan merge. They just said on the dispatch that they said there was a male inside, and again, this vehicle is wanted for armed robbery. Earlier in the day, they're saying there's a male and a female inside. They believe that the people inside this vehicle are armed.
Riveting to watch this, but so frightening. And I worry, honestly, the most about the people that they are approaching. They have no idea what's coming their way, except someone that's moving very quickly. And how many times have you been on the expressway and had some really fast driver come up on you and scare you, and your reactions become critical? So it's really a frightening moment right now just to watch this and where they're going to go and how police can even manage this. How, you know, what kind of strategies they have to use to try to be able to handle this situation, because we have seen what happens when these chases go horribly wrong.
And in a crash, and that's so often the case.
Exactly. Now we're on the Dan Ryan. So now they just went north on the Dan Ryan, and as we all know, a lot more traffic on the Dan Ryan. So now northbound, really again picking up that speed here. Northbound Dan Ryan, we're going to come up on 95th Street here. Now I can look ahead northbound. There is no traffic on the northbound Dan Ryan. There's the CTA red line at 95th Street. You'll see the vehicle come out of the other side of that. You've got the Dan Ryan. Now again, what's different from the Dan Ryan than the other expressways, you've got exits basically every 4 blocks here. So they can exit 87th Street, 79th Street, 74th, 71st. You get the idea. Eventually you can head all the way north, and we don't see any traffic on the northbound Dan Ryan all the way up until about where the Stevenson is. So again, this is another area where this vehicle, a Hyundai that is wanted for armed robbery, can pick up a large amount of speed. And now we're exiting again here. Let's see, we are at 87th Street. So I believe they're exiting at 87th Street.
So you're getting into a residential area, and this is rush hour still, and who knows what the circumstances are. School is in session, so there are potentially schools nearby that could be part of the problem. They're on residential streets now where you don't have, you know, you have to slow down at each street to make sure that you don't run into anybody a lot of times on these side streets. So there could be pedestrians making their way. Fortunately, it's cold. Maybe people, not as many people may be out walking the streets, but still, you're in a residential area, and he's still going well beyond the speed limit. Maybe not 100 miles an hour, but well beyond the speed limit.
And again, you see it right here as opposed to the expressway where you know it's open. These are residential streets, and you don't know what's coming up, and this could absolutely cause a collision. I believe we're off of State Street, or maybe a block off of this. They got off at 87th Street, went about a block, so we are about 80 coming up maybe about 83rd Street here,
You just saw him go
northbound on
over
this residential street.
Yeah, you just saw him go over a speed bump. So you're on the you're in a clear residential street dealing with speed bumps. It's
Oh, he's got out. What the hell? Can't hide behind a tree. Hello, love. Just walking about. That's crazy. Chicago, huh? Damn. Come on, please. Went straight past him. It's crazy, that. Got him. Yeah. Went the other way. Oop. I think he's long gone. There's the guy. Yeah, that was pretty wild. Gotta be careful what I play, I suppose. I'm just listening to videos at the moment. Yeah, the Trump thing's been happening, hasn't it? Trump ceasefire. Casper site, maybe. Outfield. Oh, God. So many auditors, isn't there? Alright, right. Looks like, is it Royal Mail? Yep. So it's going to be an interaction. Oh, yeah, hi, I'm Hat. No audio either. Oh, hang on. Hello, mate.
You're in
Okay,
public, do you? So
But you should be taking pictures of a private site.
right, I fixed it
it
there.
ain't private, like it's
This
public,
is
isn't it?
private. Can you
I can
go
see it from
get,
there.
can you go get
Ask them,
smudge or
ask them
mat
chaps
for me
over
from
there.
the government?
Can you see the build? Can you see the building over there? Can you see that
Watching
building
an auditor.
with your eyes from there?
See what?
The building in front of me, the yard.
Yeah, I can. Here.
Yeah, I can see it. So why can't my camera see it?
Because this is private property.
It don't
You
mean
just,
nothing.
Right, listen. You
Don't
just
mean nothing,
said,
does it?
You just
If
said.
you can see it from there with your eyes, what's the wrong with the camera zoomed
you're
up?
taking pictures for a client.
Yes,
Okay?
true.
Okay, so we would get confirmation through the post to say
Yes.
this is the situation. We've had no confirmation.
You don't need.
Yes, we do.
No, you
Of course
don't.
you do.
It's private business between me and my client.
Yeah, well then your client then should seek permission to get this. It's not legal. Otherwise, I'll have to phone the police.
Well, you can do what you've got to do, but please don't call 999 because you're wasting the police time
I
on
didn't
that.
say
ain't you?
999. It's not an emergency.
Exactly. So why are you calling the police?
Huh? He's taking illegal pictures of the Royal Mail site. We shouldn't be doing.
How's it legal?
Huh? Because you have to seek permission to take pictures of the Royal Mail
Hey,
site.
I'm Hat.
You can't just think it's
Hi,
acceptable
mate.
to come in.
Sorry about
Because
that.
how do we know that you're not eyeing up or casing up vans to see what's going in or going out? We don't know that, do we?
Yeah, I'm just
Could
listening
be,
to
but that's
some
on you, ain't it? Your
videos
protection,
at the
your
minute.
security, your cameras.
Yeah, but you shouldn't be here taking pictures.
But that's
so
your problem, that's not mine. This is public. I can walk the high street, can't I? I could be here in public. I'm not in the car park. That's rude, turn your back on me when I'm
No,
talking.
sorry, I'm talking to the
Auditor,
postman to get one of the governors down here to let
The
you know.
governor.
Mail.
You should have got the governor first. He knows a bit or two.
He'll come
You
to
clearly don't know anything. I'm in public. If I was in the car park, I'd
Listen,
understand you
have I
having
been rude?
No.
No, so why are you being rude?
You're being rude by coming out and asking me questions. You
That's
should have
not
left
rude,
me alone in the
that's
beginning. You-
common courtesy to
You should have
ask.
left me alone. I'm going to stop that. There's no point in recording if
Not
there's
really,
no
no.
video to record because you spoiled my day. Thank you very much. And you're the manager.
I am one of the managers, yeah.
I actually get my delivery from Royal Mail.
I think
do
there's
I.
too many
Good,
auditors up there.
good business, but you just let the side down
These
today
days.
for not taking my photos. I could understand if I'm in the public, you know,
But you're not allowed to take photos, I've explained that to you.
private cars, etc. But public, it's the Royal Mail, mate. It's
Yeah.
not. No, she's got it. She's all right, mate. Oh,
Is that the one you've been told about? Is he the one we've been told about?
No, as long as he's in a public place, there's no problem. You can ask him what he likes. Huh?
I wonder if it mutes when I minimise it then. No, it seems to be alright. It's weird.
As long as he's on public.
well, that's not an ignorant man, is it? Because he's explained to her what the deal is straight away. So I just think it's about teaching each other, colleagues, what you're doing during work. Hope that was recorded. Got a spy camera.
Yeah, how was your week? Wednesday night. I've been watching this Trump thing anyway. Bloody Simpson spy.
Thank you for watching and join me on next. Big up and
What shall I play then? Any idea? Audio wise? Ready photo. See, now said his name, I know I'm listening to that, don't I? Play small channels maybe. What's that? See a husky dog next to a turkey? I'm just playing random stuff. Oh.
What's up, buddy? What you doing? Alright guys, so Gohan over here just came back from a walk. He's extremely tired, but it is time to eat breakfast very soon. So we're gonna go prep up the chicken that I'm gonna leave Gohan. You guys see the title of the video already. Go. Alright guys, so here I have a full young chicken, as you guys can see. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the oven, bake it, leave it on the table, and see if Gohan takes it. You guys really enjoyed our last video. It did very well, so we're gonna try it this time with a whole chicken. Gohan is such a good boy, so we're gonna put him to the test and see if he takes the chicken while I'm gone. So
1 hour later.
Alright guys, so I got the chicken out the oven, and I'm also gonna add a chicken feet in there because Gohan loves these. So I'm gonna add that in here, and we're gonna see if Gohan takes any of this food while I'm away. So let's put him to the test. Alright buddy, I'm gonna leave. Stay. Stay there.
Settling in. It's different over there. Man's morning. He's eating the chicken pot.
Somebody.
Where is it? I just leave it there.
Someone got into the chicken feet, huh? So there was a chicken feet right there. Did you have it? Was that you? No, I was like, yeah, that was me. Did you have the chicken foot that was right here on the table? That was you? Did you at least lick the chicken? Gohan's such a good boy, guys. Alright, so after checking the footage, Gohan seemed to not do nothing again. He only ate the chicken foot, which I was very sure he was gonna do. Gohan didn't really do much. He kind of smelled the chicken for a bit, stared at it, looked around, but like a good boy he is, he did not eat it, because he's the best, right? Kipo. Alright guys, so thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys made it towards the end of this video, make sure you leave a like if you guys want to see more. Just leave a like for Gohan. I mean, look at his face. He is super cute. So if you love Gohan, make sure you guys leave a like. And as always, thank you guys so much for the support. We'll see you guys for another video.
Cheers, mate. Oh, good. Right. Got politics, but... Bold foodie guy. Whoa. Begins with T.
Let's talk about the smallest compact cassette personal stereo, but for the sake of brevity, can we just call these things a Walkman for the length of this video? It just makes things easier. We know what we're talking about, even when we're not talking about Sony models, you know, the cassette personal stereo from the 1980s, aka Walkman. Similarly, how you might call a jet ski, even when it's not made by Kawasaki, or a hot tub, a jacuzzi, when it's not made by Jacuzzi. Right, we're all on the same page. Now, I accidentally poked my stick into the hornet's nest of this question of the smallest Walkman when I made a video recently, and I said this. I just want to show you how the W800 compares in size to a personal stereo cassette player of a similar vintage that some say was the smallest model ever made. It's a Grundig BB900, although it's just a rebrand of the Sanyo JJP4 and P5. Now, you might have noticed there, I tried to pass the buck a little bit in that some people say that this is the smallest. Unfortunately, it didn't work. If you've ever been on the internet before, you'll be fully aware of what happened next. Yeah, I got a bin bag full of corrections in telling me that I was wrong. That isn't the smallest. The smallest Walkman is actually the Toshiba KT-AS10. Now, that is a model that quite a few people have asked me to show in recent years. It seems to have got some kind of renewed interest. I presume it's been shared around on some kind of social media platforms. Well, of course I do have one of those. I've had one in a box for years. The reason you haven't seen it on the channel is because it doesn't work. And I like to show things that work. Unfortunately, the non-operational status of this seems to be pretty standard for these models nowadays. But the fact it doesn't work doesn't stop me comparing the size of it against the other model. I mean, I've got the one that people claim to be the smallest versus the one that the corrections claim is the smallest because some guy on Arsebook or something told him it was. I best mention where I got the first stat from, and that was the Stereo To Go forums. Around about 2010, the experts and collectors on there, they measured up the smallest ones, all the dimensions, got an overall volume for each of these personal stereos, put them in a list, and the one that came in first place, the smallest one, was the Sanyo JJP4. So that's what they think. But hey, what do they know? Let's have a look and see which one of these two is the smallest. Okay, well, here is the Grundig BB900. The Sanyo JJP4 and the Grundig BB900 are manufactured by Sanyo. This is just a rebadging. In fact, you can see on the back here, made in Japan. Yeah,
It's
Grundig
mainly
had
metal.
very little to do with this other than sticking their badge on it, but it's the same size. So I'm showing you effectively a Sanyo JJP4 in Grundig clothing. Right, so now that we've had a look at this one, let's bring in the Toshiba. Okay, so here's the KT AS10 from Toshiba, and you can see why people are drawn to this one. It's a very unusual and appealing design, with the cassette being exposed out of the top of the mechanism here. But now let's compare it side by side with the Sanyo designed model, and you can see here in this dimension they're roughly the same width. However, that way you can see the cassette is actually popping out above where the Sanyo design model comes to. So it's a bit deeper in that dimension, and that'll be because the cassette is sitting on the mechanism here down inside the bottom, whereas in this one it's got a more central position and the mechanism is more closely pushed up against the edge. So okay, so it's a bit bigger in that dimension, but this is where it really loses out. Here,
Thinness.
it is really quite chunky. You can see the cassette is pushed off to this side, and we've got quite a bit of mechanism sat behind that. So yeah, it's not especially small in the pocket. But of course, this is the point where somebody says, well, it's smaller if you don't have a cassette in it. Well, of course, my suitcase doesn't weigh as much if I don't take anything on a holiday in it, but it doesn't really make much sense. But still, let's take the cassette out of this. And now we've got down to the small design. Of course, we've got slight issues with things getting inside the mechanism here, but ignoring that, yeah, it's quite small in that dimension, but still, of course, pretty chunky. Doesn't change that part of it at all. Okay, so the Toshiba model becomes smaller once the cassette is removed from it. So let's make this fair. Let's take the cassette out of this model as well, and pretend that we, for some reason, like to carry around our personal stereo separate from our cassettes. Now, back in the 80s, if I was carrying around an extra cassette, I'd always keep it inside a box to stop it getting damaged. So I'm keeping them in boxes here. As you can see, quite a bit of difference in size between those two. And I should mention also that whilst this one doesn't have a tape in it, I'll put one back in here. So this one now has twice the amount of audio as we've got over here on the Toshiba side, and yet they're roughly the same size. In fairness though, this Toshiba model did come supplied with a half-height radio pack, which slotted neatly inside, didn't protrude from the case. Unfortunately, I don't have one of those, but I can show you a picture of how it fits inside, and it makes for quite a neat little portable stereo radio. But it was by no means the smallest radio you could get at the time, and we're not even looking for the smallest radio. We're looking for the smallest personal stereo cassette player, aka Walkman, and there's no getting over the fact that once this has a cassette in it, it's not especially small. I know for a fact that if I had a choice between carrying this around or this in my inside jacket pocket back in the 1980s, which is where I carry my personal stereo, I'd opt for this model every time. So just getting back to that smallest Walkman list on the old Stereo To Go forum, they also decided, for obvious reasons, their measurements should include the cassette in situ, and doing things this way resulted in the Toshiba coming in at position 23. Okay, so it might not have been the smallest Walkman ever made, but hey, size isn't everything. It's certainly got a lot more going for it than just its dimensions. At the time this came out in the early 1980s, it was really very highly spec'd. I think it might have been the smallest model you could have got at the time that had auto reverse on it, and of course we had that nice little radio tuner that slots in as well. And in the box when you got this, you got something very similar to this from Sony. This holds 2 C cells and enables you to power your Walkman for a much longer time, and they came supplied with one of those. So they really did throw everything at this, and the unique design would have really appealed back then. It would have stood out from the crowd. It would have been the kind of thing that you'd want to show off to your friends. And even now, after all these years, because it's so unique, it's become highly collectible and a working model in really good condition. Now they're asking around about £1,000 for these things. So yeah, it might not have been the smallest, but still, it's a very desirable little object. Now, unfortunately, time has not been kind to these. Of course, they need a belt swap by now, and if you were to do that, it's not for the faint-hearted. It requires desoldering some tiny points on a thin ribbon cable and pretty tricky disassembly. If you know what you're doing, you can get it done, But then also another issue with it is the fast forward button on these is often missing. It's an odd design, this. That pokes through from the front of the case there. I'm missing a little bit on the inside of mine, to the spindle here. There's actually a plunger in the middle of there, and that's what activates the fast forward. The whole thing does feel quite fragile, even though it's got a metal body. I'm not sure it would survive a drop to the floor. Just to mention, this model here that somebody sent me, this has had a drop to the floor. You can see here on this corner, yeah, it's still functional. I think this thing, you really need to keep a cassette in it to make sure those two halves don't get accidentally squashed together. I mean, I do appreciate the design of this. I find it very interesting. I can see why people are attracted to it, but the fact that Toshiba didn't repeat this design must tell you something about it. Oh, and I suppose I should mention why this one isn't in a working condition. Well, I got it a number of years ago. It wasn't working then. I put some batteries in here. It takes 2 AAAs in the back there, and nothing happened. It's got a nice clean battery compartment, so there's no issue with regard to the connectivity. But I thought, well, I'll just try it with the power supply into here, 3 volts. I used the correct polarity and voltage, and smoke came out of the top, which wasn't a good sign. So it will need, no doubt, some electronic repairs as well as the belt swapping out. And in addition to that, physically, this fast forward button on the front here needs to have an additional part on the back there, which is supposed to be in place to push against this. And I'm missing the radio pack, which would connect up with that. So for me, this one is more of a museum piece. I've got plenty of other cassette Walkman type models that function better than this. This one is just something to show in a video like this one today. It's an interesting little piece of history, but as far as Walkman type things go, it's not the best. Oh, and while I've got this here, I just want to show you something. Let me take the cassette out of it. You might have seen me show this before. It's a tape winder from Sony. It also enables you to erase the tape as it's winding it. And you just put your cassette in like so, close the lid, and it winds your tape like that.
Oh, mate. I do.
But the reason I'm showing that is because I also have a tape winder from Toshiba, and that looks like this. It might just be pure coincidence, but the fact that Sony's looks like this and Toshiba's looks like that makes me think there is some kind of family DNA going on in here. Although in this one, the cassette goes in this way up, and it's a bit of a noisy mechanism, this as well. It's not too delicate on your tapes either. But yeah, just wanted to show you that Toshiba seems to like this open case design. And finally, let's move on to an even smaller Walkman. It's a model that over the years, a number of people have requested that I review. And it's one that a few people even suggested as being smaller than the Sanyo on that recent video. And yet, it's a device that never existed. I'm talking about the Elbow. This was a fanciful rendering of a reimagining of what a personal stereo cassette player could look like in the modern age if you used all the latest technology. And this design first appeared around 2015. And things should have really just ended there. But that design proved so popular, was shared around so much on the internet, got so much attention, that the people who produced it then went on to create a website about the product. They put a load more designs on there. They came out with a PDF booklet, which was for the press. They came out with a flashy video about it. They claimed to be working on making the design into a reality. Now, when I was a kid, I once drew a picture of a spaceship, and then me and my friends said we were going to make this spaceship, and we were playing around in the garden for a while with some planks and things, and then gave up around about tea time. We were just silly kids. I don't really know what the excuse was of the Elbow people, because at this point they'd just drawn something, and then because everyone liked it, they said, okay, we're going to make it. However, if they'd asked anyone who knew anything about cassette mechanisms, they'd immediately have been told that the design was missing a number of key features that are necessary in order to play a cassette. There's a reason that cassette deck mechanisms that were made in 1965 and 1995 look very similar to one another, and that's because there are certain parts that need to be in there. You can't just wish away half the components because you think it looks prettier. Now, design concepts are created all the time. It's really a way for a design house to flex their muscles a bit, to work on something out of the ordinary stuff that they're normally doing to show what they're capable of creating, to advertise their services to future customers. And one that was doing the rounds about the time of the Elbow was a really nice design that looked like an update to the original Apple Macintosh, an ultra-thin version using modern-day technology. And it was a really nice design. It was shared on various Apple websites and gadget blogs, but at no point did anyone think that this was a product that was going to be created. It was just one of those things that people thought, hey, this looks cool. Unfortunately, with the Elbow, a lot of people seem to think that it was a real product, and that blame can be laid firmly at the door of the Elbow people. But unfortunately, all these years later, when people still kept sending me links saying that I should look at this product, I often reply back to them and say, yeah, I could draw a picture of a time machine, but making a time machine is a heck of a lot more tricky than just coming up with a design of it. And it seems like the people behind the Elbow eventually figured out that no, they were just some people that knew how to use a 3D design program, but hadn't got the foggiest idea about how this product would have worked and how to bring it to market, and whether it was actually feasible in its design to be functional. And they posted a little thing, I think on Facebook, saying that, yeah, we've decided that we can't do it. That's the end, thanks, bye, type thing. Very curt little message. That was the end of it. And after a short amount of time, the website went down. But yeah, there you have it. We've got one ultra tiny cassette player that never existed in the physical realm. We've got another one that did, but isn't really especially tiny. And then we've got this model here, which was the smallest personal stereo cassette player ever made, and is likely to retain that crown forevermore. But I must get back to finishing off that time machine. I've decided on the paint colour. I just need to work out some of the minor technical details. Shouldn't take me very long at all. Anyway, that's it for the moment. As always, thanks for watching.
An old Grundig TV. I remember having one of them. Oh no, there's actually new ones. Was it the 80s? 90s. Yeah, there it is. TV Evolution, 1880 to 2021. Oh, could be good. I'll play this first. Oops, Rocky muted again.
It's a super color Grundig from the early 80s. I have no idea what the exact year of this television is, but it's an early 80s model. So yeah, really, I'm not really going to do a full review on the TV. I will do that at another stage. But yeah, a very old vintage television here.
Yeah,
I
ours
got
was a
it
lot bigger.
specifically for video games.
I remember it being brown.
However, I did have a bit of unfortunate news with this TV. I did get the TV online. I bought it online on eBay, but I did have some unfortunate news. But I also had some positive news to share with you as well about this TV. I'll start with the positive news. The positive news is that the TV works. I've recorded some footage on it. It has amazing color. I'm going to be posting some videos of some gameplay and stuff that I've done. Now, I can't use the PS1 on this TV. That's the problem. Like, I have a PS1 here. As you can see, I have the original early model of the PS1, and I have my PS2 right here. For some reason, I can't use my PS1 on it. When I did plug up my PS1 to this TV, I got a bad odor, like a bad kind of a smoky smell, and next thing you know, there's a puff of white smoke coming out of the back of the TV, and I immediately unplugged the TV. So I figured there's some issues going on in there. Maybe there's dust built up inside it. It's an old TV, you know. Maybe there's burning dust. You know, maybe there's a capacitor or something in there gone wrong. As you know, CRTs, they're deadly dangerous. You know, pieces of old technology nowadays. Very few people have a TV like this nowadays, which these older models tended to have more of, you know, they were more fragile to smoke. You know, they were more likely to smoke, I should say, in terms of overheating. So yeah, but either way, the TV still works. You know, I gave it some time to cool down. The problem is that I can't use this TV for long. Unfortunately, I won't be able to use this TV for long periods of time. Now, if I do have any more issues with the TV, I haven't had any issues since. I'm still under warranty with this. You know, I can still get my, you know, myself covered through insurance and stuff with this TV, through the eBay system. But either way, um, the TV, it does work amazingly well. You know, it has fantastic sound off it, fantastic picture, great color in it as well. Um, yeah, it's in good working order, and the PlayStation 2, as you can see right here, works amazingly well on it as well. But like, I don't know why the PlayStation 2 is working for me on it, but the PlayStation 1 isn't. I have no idea why. But yeah, I will be making another video on this TV. I'll be doing a full on review. Um, I'll probably post that to my other channel, but yeah, or I might post it to this channel as well, or maybe I might just post it to Games Mania Doherty. I do have another channel that I post random stuff on, but either way, um, yeah, just said I'd do a bit of an update on the TV. But yeah, it's a nice vintage retro TV. It does work very well, other than its the issues that come along with it. Um, but yeah, like, I mean, with the issues that are within this TV, I mean, you'll expect that with a TV of, you know, 35 years old. Um, you know, I presume that it's like from 1983 or 1984, something like that. Again, I don't know the year on the TV, but yeah, I'll just show you a little bit closer up. This is where we have our channels. You know, our channel number would be listed up here. That's our power switch. We also get, with Grundig, we're tended to be popular for a headphone jack, and this is our switches. That's our switchboard in here. We can adjust the color. We can have our volume switch, and our channels and stuff are all in here too. Okay. One of the things I love about older TVs is, especially these old CRTs from the 80s, they had a very curved screen on them, and they also had they had a grey screen. If you notice, like newer CRT TVs, um, such as the other one that you've seen me use in other videos, which is the Sharp TV from the late 90s, they tended to have a black screen, but the 80s ones and older than that had a grey screen. But yeah, either way, uh, not to ramble too much longer on this. Um, that's my video. I hope you enjoyed watching anyway. If you have any other tips about CRTs, if you're out on the look for one for retro gaming, drop a comment below. We can have a chat down there about CRTs. Tell me what you like about CRT TVs. Are you looking for one? Are you a retro gamer, or are you just like me and you like to play a bit of everything? Um, Personally, I'm just very nostalgic. I just love to, collect retro stuff, and this is one of the things that I had the joys of adding to my collection. Either way, so yeah, thank you once again for watching. Uh, this is Games Mania Doherty, and I will see you in the next video.
Games Mania, should we try that? Mania. Oh. What's this? Got to play Action Biker. Oops. Sorry, Hat, if you're listening now. That was a bit loud. Just to take us back a bit. It's going up the roller coaster ride. Is it? Oh, no, it's what is that? I forgot. Platform. Just jumps off, look. The joy of getting that one. Sound of that engine. Yeah, good going. Oh! Oh, wow. Press F7. VHS is back. And retro Christmas surprise. I'm so going to get kicked off again. Oh, I've got a Star Wars there, look. Oh, yeah, that retro show, yeah. It's got some amazing stuff, hasn't it? Doctor Who. Yellow Eyes. Oh no, BBC's come on. Oh no. Come here, darling. Yeah, flop up. Let's turn the light off a bit, eh? Oh, are you going out, yeah? You going out? Okay. Right. I was going to put you on camera then, but she's gone. Oh God, is it that guy? Oh, I saw one of his videos the other week. This guy's crazy. The hell? Crying children? I'm not there. Whoops. That's not real, surely. Yeah, they're smiling. Set the PCB by. It's got everything in it. Get the dog. What did you say that? A men's onesie? Goosebumps.
He got stuck halfway through the process. He had to be rescued by co-workers and luckily only survived. Oh, luckily only suffered minor injuries. Another completely true fact there. Thank you to ChatGPT. And now it's time to unscroll a roll. Would you like to pick one? This one? She did actually go for that. Yeah, this one. Before I unravel it, we should actually get rid of the TV so people can see. Are you ready? Good girl. Very good. Oh, singed the corner of the paper there.
Randomly mutes.
Yeah. This is from Family Roma, Ultimate Retro Fax Test. Hi Christian, glad to be able to send you fax messages. Best regards from Germany, from Andy, of Andy's Retro Corner, Insta and Discord also. Cheers Andy, very kind of you. It seems that the fax machine is definitely working. Can you choose another one? Which one of these do you like? Yeah, definitely was that big one. Alright, let's see what we've got. Attention! I love your YouTube channel and really appreciate your sense of humour. Thank you. What sense of humour? I've recently rediscovered our family's old C64 with dataset 1541 drive joysticks, slew of software. I have no idea if it'll still work. Need to do some examination on the components. I hope that they do work. Isn't that the best feeling when you find something you thought was lost? All the best to you. Cheerio from Paul S. in Canberra, Australia. And there's his email if anyone wants it. Thank you so much, mate, and g'day to you. And good day, more not Australian, very practic. I finally got a hold of an authentic fax machine so I can join in on this outdated, crazy form of communication. Live long and prosper from the Van Zyl family. Thank you, Van Zyl family. And that is directly from Jacko's fax. Hopefully he isn't wacko. Let's just check our unboxings and see if we've got anything wacko jacko in there. She's making room for me to do a better job. Now, first up, I want to unpeel this. This is the Atari 50th anniversary celebration Yes, Sony PlayStation, only celebrating 30 years. And this is the expanded Steelbook edition of their celebration release. I'm going to open it up, see what's inside. Yeah, pretend it's tinsel. That's nice. Oh, that's really nice. Here's we've got some game-themed business cards, stickers, I guess box art or cartridge art of Berserk, Maze Craze, an Atari Video Cube, and it all comes on a little Nintendo Switch cartridge. I know it's portable and convenient, but I do wish the newer consoles still took old-style, bigger cartridges. But it is nice that they're kind of chunky, the Nintendo Switch ones. And there it is. What do you actually get then? Well, you get the original release and 2 new timelines and 38 games to the playable Atari retrospective. It has 140 classic games and interviews, archives, and all that kind of stuff. Thanks for sharing that, Atari. We may give this away to one of our patrons, just randomly, because we do that sometimes. Seems a nice way to show our appreciation, basically making the channel possible. Next up, what's in here? AmericanRetro.shop. I'm writing to express my sincere appreciation for your fantastic YouTube channel. Thank you so much. This is from Jacek Bryla, or Jacek Bryla. I'm so sorry. Your passion for this fascinating era is truly contagious. I hope so. The way you showcase the history behind the machines and bring back childhood memories is informative and entertaining. Thank you. It's really kind. When you release your video about the 3D printed clear case for the Commodore 64, which we have here, and speaking of PCBWay, of course, as Harley Cracklick was, this case was printed by PCBWay, the crystal clear version. Check out that video if you want to see how that was done, and links to the models so you can send them the same file and have them print one for you. Not to be confused, of course, with Jake Young's brand new Retro Fusion cases that he's going to be sending me a few samples of that any day now, and I'll be showing them off in all kinds of colours, including clear. So we are really spoiled for choice when it comes to Commodore 64 and other computer stuff. But what's inside here, you may ask? Well, he watched that video and he was so excited. The project looked amazing, but he felt something was missing, so he decided to build and donate to the channel the Mechboard 64 LED with additional RGB LED strips. Install the keyboard in the machine, install the Zengi app, and connect via Bluetooth to control the strips. That's so cool. Thank you so much, mate. Let's take a look at it. Now I fear we may not have time to set this all up in this 60-second unboxing. It's meant to be. But, oh, and that's his company there. I love Retro Chip Tester Professional in New York. Again, hopefully you didn't see the Grinch. So let's take a look at this. Oh, I see. Okay. So it is the well-known Mechboard 64, which is the modern replacement a lot of people make, with the LED strips on the top and bottom. LED galore. Oh. I wish she would stop appearing just like that. Well, from taking things out of boxes to taking something out of the closet. Actually, that's not what you think. Putting something in the closet. It is time for your homebrew projects in. That's right. Is that bothering you? I'm sorry, darling. You can take your union-assigned lunch break in a minute. Oh, sorry, didn't realize you were back. Well, first up in Homebrews, let's see what a young Venezuelan boy has made. Instead of getting a Game Boy for Christmas, he created one. Here it is. Look at that. It's over here. Look at it over here. And we had something similar to this a couple of years ago. Whether he copied this, the idea, or was just separately inspired. But I used to make things out of cardboard as well. My favourite was a car. It was a big box that I could get in, but it had a dashboard and a steering wheel with a little butterfly clip through the middle. Lots of like-minded kids out there in the world, right? Nothing. Not a thought in the world. And now, here's that closet I mentioned. I have a tiny closet, and I recently started collecting old VHS tapes. What if I turned this closet into a miniature blockbuster? Patched up the holes. First coat looking good. The blue carpet is in. Second coat, shelving and lighting. The VHS going. Makes me smile, and it's not even done yet. Me too, mate. Nice work, John. And the sign came in. Didn't know they made those. Had to add in staff picks and a rack and a snack rack. And a coming soon board with special hidden tribute. Gotta love a good swivel rack. I like a good rack. It's glorious. Extra shelf space already being used. And running out the wall to the washing machine, the AV cables. And John Martino asks, what should he add next? Mate, I think you're done. It's going to start getting a bit cramped. Although you could, if it is New York, you could rent it out for make a killing on Airbnb. I love it. Even that little preview TV there. What movie would you rent? Let's see what she did there. And that is it for the festive home brews. I do miss going to Blockbuster. Maybe I'll go to John's and I can come out of the closet. You know what I mean. I'm all I'm all of a tizzy. Good girl. Good girl. Oh, you're back with us, are you? And now it is time for a very festive and nostalgic look at a nice, delicious bowl of nostalgia flakes.
Mmm.
That's right, it is nostalgia flakes. And what comes up first? That's right, the gallery. That's no space station, it's a Christmas present. Oh, nice Walkmans.
Yeah.
E.T., PJs, and a Spectrum 48K. I just got my first one the other day, if you didn't see.
Oh, that joystick.
Wonder if he had a Hayes modem.
Getting close.
Oh, and a snuggly baby joining us for the end of Nostalgia Flakes. Hi, darling. It's so lovely to see you. And if you didn't see the last episode, when she makes that sound, this, she's saying, what's this? And then we have to explain Rode Video Mic NTG USB and explain all the equipment to her. So many things to see in here, aren't there? So many things to see. But now we're going to see somebody's made their own version of Nostalgia Flakes.
Oh.
Yeah, do you want to see? Take a look. This is from Movies State of Mind.
Oh, yeah. With the pearls. Aw.
But I wanted that.
Nice.
That's going to be you next year.
What's the cross-eyed teddy?
I had that. It's still right there.
Love that.
I love that shuttle lambda, is it? Who had the comment? I did. Me.
Oh.
Did you have that? ColecoVision?
No.
You did.
I had that. No, I didn't. I had a 400. And that's almost the exact Sony TV we had.
That looks very similar to the one that I had.
Yeah? Hey, I had an AT-AT. I had one. Face palming.
Look.
You got a Walkman and a moustache for Christmas. Look at the baby.
We've all got Christmas trees there as well. I missed them.
And finally, it's time for us to unwrap the past with a nostalgic look at some of yesteryear's Christmases gone by.
That's me. A PlayStation 2 game? What? Again?
So he got a controller, but he doesn't have a PlayStation.
And he has the games.
And the games.
It's okay.
That's what he said.
It's okay. Just shows you. It shows you.
It shows you care, he said to the mama.
Sure.
So he's got another gift here. Don't know what it could be.
Something new. It's up.
Now it's his turn to cry.
Yeah.
Shannon knows more than you think.
He got a PS2, and they're just celebrating their anniversary.
Oh, I used to love those. The giant, like, package deals. Usually those were from Costco. Oh. The funny?
Steve, is that a good game? Steve?
Steve?
Steve! Steve's not answering.
Oh, he's peeking. Oh, wee! Oh, yeah.
Do you want a wee? Luckily she got a diaper
I
on.
think she might, yeah.
What's he got for Christmas? Could it be another Game Boy? I don't know if he likes it though. I can't really.
I think he might.
Oh,
No, we can't quite make out what she's saying, but she's obviously wanted this desperately. Can you tell what it is?
Is it a Switch?
It's a Nintendo Switch.
Aw, sure wants to play Animal Crossing.
Could
It's
be
built her
that, actually.
island.
Yeah. So sweet. They always make me a bit emotional for Christmas especially. And especially seeing all the fun you're going to have in years to come. No, you can't have that. We're auctioning it. We raffled it off and someone just won it.
Oh, sorry.
But you can have you can have everything else. And what's this? Is she a good girl?
Good girl.
Good girl. There it is.
Yeah.
Well, she's a good girl, and you are all good girls and boys for watching us and never Nintendo switching away from us, especially at Christmas. Get it?
I get it.
Switch, Nintendo.
I see what you intended.
I was going for the same joke.
I know.
Well, I'm off to tune into the BBC 1980s programming on YouTube. I usually leave that running on a loop on another TV in the house.
He really does. Fitting.
What? It's glorious. I recommend you guys do the same. But as for us, we just want to say a very happy Christmas and happy holidays wherever you are in the world. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe and support below. And
cheerio.
that was brilliant. Right, Paul Voodoo guy. Future Sock documentary, 72. What's that? Oh, it's Art of Kicks, maybe.
How are we all doing out there? I hope you're all absolutely spot on. And thanks for watching the video. Now I've been shopping. I've been to Farm Foods. Come and have a look at what I got. I was in Farm Foods and I seen this, a bigger portion, a better value, only £2.49. MJ's Diner, air fryer meals, chicken curry with chips, 100% chicken breast fillets with a chip shop style curry sauce and crinkle cut chips. Contains a sachet of chip shop style curry sauce, 450 grams, air fry in 15 minutes, also suitable for oven cooking. And there is the lovely serving suggestion. Goodness me, what a mouthful. So I've told you where it's at and I've told you the price. So let's
I don't know why it goes to Farm Foods.
have a look what we've got. Now I have done a few of these air fryer meals by MJ's Diner, and I thought I'd done this one, but I haven't. So that's why I got it. 450 grams, £2.50. So we'll start with, we've got some spiel there. We've got some spiel: formed, marinated or unmarinated chicken breast fillets with added water, potato chips, a sachet of chip shop curry sauce, and frozen. Yeah, it's frozen. There is more nutritional information. It's produced and packed in the UK.
Yeah.
UK sticker there. We've got 450 grams. And they are all the ingredients. Very small. If you want to pause it and zoom in, go ahead. We've got allergens. They're in bold, very difficult to see. Milk, wheat, barley. Can you see any more? Milk's a big one. Wheat and barley, isn't it? Yeah. Anyway, there they are. There they are. Marinated or unmarinated chicken fillets. 30%. Chicken, 76%. It says what? Is that water? 13%. Yes, it says allergy advice there. It says in bold, may contain peanuts, other nuts, celery, crustaceans, fish mollets, mustard, egg, milk, soybean sulfites, and sesame seeds, and a partridge in a pear tree. No, it doesn't contain a partridge in a pear tree. But yeah, they've covered all bases there with allergens. I would imagine there's fish that's been manufactured in the fish meals that's been made in the factory, so they're just sort of covering all bases. Yeah, so there it is. Cook from frozen. Do it in the air fryer, do it in the oven. It's up to you. Do the sauce from frozen. You can do it on the hob, or you can do it on the hob.
I wonder what we'll do.
Or you can microwave it. It's up to you. That is the sauce. Right, if I've missed anything out of this, I will put everything in the description of the video. So let's get this open and see what we have got. We have a tab system. I do remember last time we have a tab system, so let's have a look. We'll go with this one. I think you've got to go down if I remember rightly. Aim down. Yes. There we are. You ready for this? Are you ready for this? Dun, 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 dun. There's the chicken. Yeah, there's your chicken. Goodness me. Wow.
It's a bit orange.
Yeah, there it is. Looks like it's been squashed flat. Thrown a few spices on there. The worktop is clean. Let's get the curry sauce out. There's your curry sauce. Chip shop curry sauce, and there's your crinkle cut chips. Used to have them when we were nippers, when we were kids. Crinkle cut. It was always if you had crinkle cut, it was always a special occasion. Yeah. So, crikey, there's not many chips in there. Wowzers, there isn't hardly any chips. So basically, you put your chicken and your chips in your drawer for your air fryer, and that's how many chips you get. You don't get many. It is only for one, mind. Yeah, you don't get many chips. You get 2 chicken breasts. So they're going in the air fryer like that. And they're going in for 16 minutes at 200 degrees, and we'll sort of give them a shake, and we'll have a look at them. And just we'll sort of gauge them with a thermometer. thermometer.
He reviewed a fry
With my
bent
curry
tossed pie
sauce,
the
I'm
other
just
week.
putting it in a pan of water and just simmering it for
Worst
8 to
he's ever
10
had.
minutes. I just want to go over this again. I did notice when I read it out, it says formed, marinated or unmarinated chicken breast. Now that's as if they don't really know. They've got a whole batch of chicken, they don't know what's marinated and what's not, so they've just all thrown it in. That might be me just thinking a bit out loud, but yeah, who knows. So I've had to take my chips out because I wouldn't do them all at the same time, not for 200 degrees for 15 minutes. The chips are done. They probably took what 10 minutes. I don't want to do them anymore because I like them that colour. I don't want to do them anymore though. So I've got a couple of minutes left. I'm going to put my chips back in just to warm them up. You can see the chicken in there. I'm just going to put my chips in and, like I say, give them a blast for a couple of minutes just to finish off.
Looking quite good.
So it's done. There's the chicken. I'm going to chop the chicken up. And there's the chips. So the chips are going on here like that. And the chicken I'm going to chop up.
Chips are done perfectly.
So you can see okay there. I'm just going to chop it up like on the picture. We'll have a look at the chicken. It's chicken, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, it's been sort of. I mean, it says breast. It does say 100% chicken breast, but it's been sort of mushed up, and then it's all been pushed together, hasn't it, and formed into these sort of, into these kind of flat fillets. There it is. So I'll get that chicken on there. Smells like chicken. That's always a good start, isn't it? I'll get that chicken on there. Now, it says 450 grams. Put that to one side. It says 450 grams, but you've got... That's quite a lot of curry in it. That's quite a lot of grammage you're taking up. Yeah, it takes away from the 450 grams, doesn't it? In fact, I think I'll weigh it. I'll weigh the curry. So I've got my scales. Let's get the curry on. See what we get. 128 grams. I know you get a bag there, but the bag's going to be absolutely nothing, is it? Yeah, so you're looking at about 126, 127 grams off your 450. That's your chips, and there's your chicken. Right, there's no tab system on your bag, so you need some scissors. So I'm just going to just do that. And with the curry sauce, I'm going to make a dam with the chicken, and I'm going to put my curry sauce there, just like when you were kids. Still do it now.
Oh, it's cold in the oven.
Get it all on. There was a lot of curry sauce there. Like they could have sort of give you maybe half, give you more chips and more chicken, bigger chicken, and give you sort of half of the curry sauce. I know it'd be cheaper, wouldn't it, to do the curry sauce? I know there's still some in there, but I ain't going to be eating all that curry sauce. Well, it smells like chip shop curry sauce. That's always a good start, isn't it? The dam has worked, look. The dam has kept its, has done the job. Right, I'm going to try this chicken. There's the chicken. Good. Yeah. Try the chicken, and then I'll try everything else. There it is. Now I know it's $2.49. You're saying it's $2.49. What do you expect? Well,
here we go.
Just showing you it. That's all. Just showing you it. Chicken breast, chips, and curry sauce. I'm going to get into that bit of chicken first and see what it's like.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
What?
Oh no. Oh. Not going in the bin.
What?
Goodness me.
Uh-oh.
Oh. God no. God, that chicken's terrible. The marinade is terrible and the chicken is terrible. Absolutely disgusting.
Watery chicken, you think?
Gosh, no, no, no. That chicken is, that ranks with one of the worst bits of chicken I've ever tried. The marinade was disgusting. The chicken just, it tasted foul. Bum bum, if you know what I mean. It just tasted wrong. It was nasty. Oh, goodness me. Right, let's try these crinkle cut chips. Mmm.
Surely they're alright, chips.
Whatever oil they've done the chips in, it's tasty. Probably oil that it's not good for you. I like that colour as well. Got crispy bits on the edges. Let's get into this curry. Let's get straight into that curry.
Curry's either going to be good or bad.
Oh, the curry's good. Very tangy. Chip shop curry sauce. Very, very tangy it is. Very tangy. But it's tasty. It's quite runny. The curry sauce is lovely. The curry sauce and the chips is lovely. The chicken, it's shocking. It's absolutely shocking. Oh no, there's no way I'm eating that. I'm not putting any more of that chicken in my mouth, that's for sure. But the curry sauce and chips is alright.
Watery chicken.
Curry sauce is very tangy. Yeah. Wow. The spices are nice in there. It's not hot. I mean, it's not like, it is hot because there's steam coming off it, but it's not chilly hot, if you know what I mean. Ooh, that chicken. I mean, it didn't look great, and it didn't, and I cooked it and I tried it, and it doesn't taste great. It does not taste great, and I cooked it as per cooking instructions.
We'll do another one of these after, I think.
Chips and curry sauce is good.
Just the chicken then.
My advice to you is, don't buy it. Don't buy that one. I think I've done chicken. I have done air fry meals, chicken, curry and chips, and it was good. It was good, if I remember rightly. The chicken's poor, very, very poor. Chicken is -10 out of 10.
Oh.
The curry sauce is, I like it. It's tangy. It's got a nice kick of spices.
That's right.
Serviette's gone missing. It's gone AWOL. Is it 8 out of 10, and the chips are 8 out of 10. I like the flavour of the oil on the chips. Yeah, the chicken is -10. No good. No good. Glad I tried it. Won't be trying it again. Thank you very, very much. Thank you very, 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 very much for watching and subscribing. If you've not subscribed, then please hit the subscribe button. It's free. And if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, and all the usual boxes ticked and crossed and all that malarkey. Thanks very much, and I'll catch you on the next one.
Cheers, mate.
How are you all doing?
Ultimate Lambooner Ghost. Oh, okay. What's that? Best curry cheat, delicious every time.
Well, Merry Boxing Day, everyone. I hope you're all enjoying your festivities. I hope you all had a good day yesterday, being Christmas Day. Now it's it's Boxing Day, and I'm going to do a curry. I've done one before in the past, and I'm going to do another because it's a different year and a different curry. It's going to be a turkey curry, of course, and I'm going to show you what I've got, and sit down, get a nice cup of tea, cup of coffee, or a drink of your choice, and enjoy the show. So yes, we've got turkey. Yesterday's turkey. Here it all is.
Tends to dry up there, doesn't it, next day?
We did turkey and beef yesterday. We've got turkey breast this side and the rest of the turkey is this side. I'm going to use this bit up. I'm going to leave that for sandwiches, and got some beef. Might even throw some beef in there as well. I'm going to chop an onion up, not finely, chunky. I do like a chunky onion in my curry. I've got mayflower and I've got goldfish as well. I'm going to combine them both. Yes. I've got some mushrooms as well, and if you can see the date on there, they are out of date. Never mind. We'll have a look at them. They are mushrooms.
Both curry sauces.
Yeah, no problem with that date at all. I've picked a lot of it out, and I'm just going to chop it up. I'm going to chop it up roughly. It is sort of chopped up anyway, but I'm not having it, you know, I want it quite lumpy. So that's all I'm doing. Watch the old pinkies. I don't even know why I said enjoy the show earlier. I suppose it is a kind of show, isn't it? And I am cheating, obviously, using, you know, I'm using pre-made powders. But I think these are they make cracking curries. These they're dead simple. It's a simple curry, nothing difficult about it. And that's what you want, innit, on Boxing Day. You don't want to be sort of, you know, you don't want to be getting yourself in a, you know, you just want to take it easy, don't you? So I'm going to get that in the pan. That's going to go in the pan, but I'm going to do a few things before it. So I've got some peas as well. I'm going to stick some peas in there as well. Bit of veg, you know. I do like a few peas in my curry. But first I'm going to chop this onion up. And yeah, gonna chop this up now. What I was going to say, it'll come to me. I want this onion chopped up rough, you know, big. I don't want it finely chopped up. So I'm going to get rid of the top skin and the one underneath it, like that. Now I ain't no chef, you know that out there. People who've been watching the channel will know I ain't no chef. But I always try and leave the root on, if you know what I mean. I cut it in half, but try and leave it on because it keeps it all together. If you cut it off the other end, it'll well, I'm not cutting it. I'm doing it all wrong. I'm not cutting it finely up, am I? So what am I going on about? Anyway, I'm going to chop it. I want to take that off. I'm not bothered about it now, the root. But if you're chopping all finely, I always leave the root on. Chop it that way. Chop it that way. Chop it that way. You know what I mean? But I want it bulky now. I want it like that. You know, I don't want it fine. I want big bits of onion. Because I'm going to fry this off in pan. That's it, like that. That's how I like it, like that. And when you fry it off, it'll all fall apart anyway. So I'm going to get this in a pan with some butter. So I've got my pan. Let's turn it on. Let's always look down here, make sure it's turned on. So I've got that turned on. Now I'm going to stick some butter in there and a little bit of oil. So I'll put the oil in so it doesn't burn the butter. And I'll stick a bit of butter in, only putting a little bit in. You know, only putting a little bit in, just to sort of give the onion some colour. And I'm gonna bit of oil in there as well, like that. And I'm gonna throw the onion in, and then I'm gonna throw the mushrooms in. So we'll have a look at these. Well, that butter's in there now. We'll have a look at these mushrooms and have a look. Yeah, they're all right. Nothing wrong with them at all, is there? You know, always check your dates. Don't throw stuff out because it goes over the dates. Now I want these quite big as well. I like my mushrooms quite big in a curry. I do. So I don't want them sort of reduced to absolutely nothing. I'm not washing them. Don't wash your mushrooms. I mean, obviously if you've just got them out of the ground, or you know what I mean, picked them, then obviously give them a brush off, get all the sort of muck off them. But yeah, I'm going to do them all. Well, so no, maybe too many. I'll leave half. I'll do half, and I think that'll be enough. So I'm going to get the onions in the pan. Right, so they're going in now. So I'm just going to do them. I'm going to do them low. I'm going to add a little bit of salt and season to taste. Season as I go along, rather, not to taste. Now I know we're all chefs out there, aren't we? Everyone who watches and comments are all Michelin star chefs. But this is how I do it. I know we're all different. We are all different. And I'm just gonna, and I know putting a bit of salt in will maybe get the water out, but I'm just gonna salt as I go along, and I'm gonna put a bit of pepper in as well. With me Mayflower curry, I got this in B&M. You can get it in Iceland as well. I've got some cold water in the pan, and it goes in cold water, and you heat it up sort of gently. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to switch it on.
Get it in the room, you know.
Switch the pan on. I've only got it on a bit low.
Cold out here.
And I've got my powder here, look, and I'm going to put that in like that. And I've put about that much in. You can sort of put it all in. I might as well. There's only a little bit left, and we'll see how it goes. So I've got my whisk. Just going to whisk that in a bit. Oh, it's just me going everywhere here. So I am getting a little bit of a browning on me onions, if you can see there. Just a little bit of a browning, that's how I like it. And you can see they've sort of all come apart. So I'm going to get my mushrooms in there now. So I'm going to put my mushrooms in, like that. And give them a mix. Just going to add a little bit more salt. I know it brings the water out, but it's how I do it. I'm going to put a little bit more salt in there. I don't want too much because there'll be a lot of salt in the powder, you know, in the curry powder. Look at me, I'm multitasking. I hope the wife doesn't watch this video. I'll be in trouble. I told her I can't multitask. I can only do one thing at a time. You're giving me loads of jobs to do. Anyway, that's in there. And I'm going to turn the heat up a little bit. Don't want them sort of stewing like that. And I'm going to stick another knob of butter in. Just going to put only a little knob going in like that of butter. Oh, it smells good. It does smell good. The peas will go in last. Let's have a look at this. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to get a chunk of goldfish curry paste in there as well. Right, so there's the goldfish. That's it there. So I'm going to probably put half of that in as well. So just stick half of that in, like that. That'll thicken it up even more. I could always put some hot water in there, and that should dissolve in there now, like that. So I'm going to get my turkey, nearly said chicken in there then. I'm going to get my turkey in there. So it shouldn't be as dry, well it is dry, you can see turkey is a little bit dry in it. But with it being sort of all the other bits other than the breast, it is tasty. So I put another little knob of butter in, and I'm just turning the heat up. And I'm going to brown that a little bit more off so it doesn't stew.
There we go. Bit of Philadelphia cheese.
Now there's the curry. It's thickening up. I just put a little bit more water in, and that's dissolving. That big lump there. You've got to mash it down a bit and get it sort of mixed in. I like both of them. Which do you prefer? I know you can get all the spices, can't you? You know, make your own, and a lot of people do that, and that'll be great. But yeah, simplicity. I'm a simple kind of guy. That's what I like. Right, I've got my curry at the consistency that I want. Like that. It's not too runny. It's not too thick. And I'm going to pour it in there now, like that. Get it all in. Right, that'll do, that's all in. Like that. Oof, got a bit of steamage going on. Can't beat a bit of steamage. Oh, it smells good. It really does smell good. Look at that. Oh. Right, I'm going to let that sort of simmer for 5 minutes, then I'm going to get my peas in and probably simmer it for another 5 minutes, and it's done. So that's been simmering away. Now I'm going to add my peas, get my peas in there. I'm not going to add too many. I'm going to finish this bag off like that. Mix them in, because the peas will bring the temperature down, you see, so well, shouldn't affect it too much. We'll give it another 5 minutes and I'll turn it off. It's done.
Food ready for in a bit.
So I'm just going to sort of ladle some out.
You got some nice food out there.
Oh, it's smelling good. It really is. Oh, look at that. It's just the right thickness as well. I like it nice and claggy and thick like that. Yeah. Obviously you can have some rice, some chips, half and half rice, half chips. Get some prawn crackers.
Trying to
Get them in a bag, can't you, the prawn crackers? You do Mayflower prawn
body
crackers.
Bloody.
And you're ready to go, aren't you?
Can't do that.
So it's there. There it is. Red hot. Look at that steam coming off it. Oh, I'm gonna have the rest of my tea later on when it's settled down a bit. I'm gonna get stuck in. I won't get a massive bit. I always take too much. So I hope you like the video, and if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, and maybe you could push the boat out. It is Christmas, and consider subscribing. And thank you very much for watching all year. I do appreciate it. I really do. It's been a fantastic.
In the kitchen.
My 4th Christmas now on YouTube, and it's been absolutely fantastic. But you make it fantastic for watching and commenting and getting in touch. So thank you all.
Okay.
Right, I'm going to try it. God, that turkey's just broke down. Oh yeah, it's lovely. It is lovely. It really is.
Turkey and beef.
God, that is tasty. It's simple. It's so simple. Using them powders, or using that goldfish, the paste. It doesn't have to make a cracking curry. It's the best.
Winner.
I love it. I do love it. Well, I would say that, wouldn't I? I made it. But it's tasty. It's velvety as well. You can see the little bit of, a few knobs of butter I've put in there. It's lovely. It's velvety. It's smooth. It's soft with a little bit of spice with the curry. Oh, that's tasty. The spices in that curry are lovely as well. Mixing them both, beautiful. Proper Chinese, like a Chinese curry sauce. Really, really nice. I'm getting some vegetables as well. Some peas. We didn't have any escape peas neither. They all went in. I couldn't resist it. So thanks for watching. Thanks for. I do appreciate it. I hope you're all having a good time, a good merry time wherever you are. Whatever you're doing. And people who are working over Christmas, take me off to you. I've heard a few sirens going off. Take me off to you. It's all the best. And I'll catch you on the next one.
Thank you, Bob Foodie Guy. So, right, I can't see what I'm looking at because I've left my glasses. And better give it a can. I'm not going to play for an hour. Bye, Sky.
So I've been told by you all that since the recent activities with the wildfires in California, that y'all feel that the orbs, UAPs, and drone sightings have been suppressed by the media. Well, I'm here to let you know that there has been an uptick in UAP drones and orb sightings since the fires in California. Don't believe me? Watch this.
What?
Check this out down here at
More
the bottom. It
drones.
says unseen footage, UAP orb spotted near the Palisades fire. This is footage of someone leaving California, flying in the sky in the airplane, and you see these things that are real close to the fires, and they're bright. Whatever these things are, they are very bright, and they are flying extremely low, really close to the smoke of these fires. The person recording believes that this is orbs that they have caught on camera. Whoa, look at this. I hadn't seen this.
So a lot of these are fake, but you know.
What in the world?
I have to go and get my glasses.
What the heck is that? That's an orb. We're zooming in on it and it still looks the same.
Holy moly, guys, we've got some of the best footage that I've seen to date of a orb, right? This is coming out of China. This was filmed on the 1st of January.
There's a lot, actually.
Look at this thing, alright? Whatever this orb is was just hovering over the top. It was probably about, I'd say, around 200 foot off the ground, alright? Just a little bit higher than the tops of the buildings here. It's travelling at a very impressive speed. I'm going to play some of the sounds as well, because one, it doesn't emit any sound. It's completely quiet. You can't hear any sort of drone propellers, right? It's not a flare because it's moving. It's not dropping any embers. It's not glowing up the area like a flare would. I'm not sure, man. Check this out. Here it is with the sound on. Listen to the sound. Absolutely nothing. The crazy thing about this thing is moving pretty damn fast. I'm not sure, like, this is in correlation to all the sightings that we're seeing recently, the unexplainable nature of what these things are. There's been multiple sightings all around China as well of these orbs just gliding around, doing something that we are not quite sure of, because it's not only happening in the US, we've had it in China, Brazil, Vancouver, all over the US. Where else we've had it? Oh my goodness, Spain as well, Denmark as well. Like, it just doesn't stop. Like, I'm going to leave some links in the description below. Have a look, check it out, and it's pretty incredible stuff.
Now, this is the original clip. I found it. Now, this is the fastest moving orb that I have seen to date from any of these videos and clips of sources that I have found online. And that thing is bright. It's bright, it's big, like he said. You don't hear any moving parts coming from this thing. It's just moving.
Pretty crazy though.
And I say this because my knowledge of drones at this height, you probably still could hear them. You probably could still hear them flying. At least the drones, the civilian drones that I'm familiar with.
Ще спеціальний?
Kraine. Gelesen, das ist gemacht.
Lambo, a prodotto che c'è speciale. Che speciale?
What the freak?
It's a bit fake the way they go into the water.
I have no idea what to say about this clip. I'm not entirely sure what I just witnessed there. I don't know if that was drones. I don't know if that was something else. But clearly we saw these bright balls of light coming out of the sky, dropping into the water, making a sound, but not creating a splash. They were definitely big enough in size to where they could have made a substantial enough of a splash that would have been caught on camera, even with this low quality of a footage that we just seen. Even with this low quality of footage that we just seen, but there was no splash. Somebody please explain down in the comment section what you think that was.
And it was like as low as our roof.
Look, there they go again. Look, there's 6 of them. 6 of them, here they come. Look at this. And they're traveling. And now they're doing dances. And now they're gonna shoot over top of our heads. Look at this. Look, it's just shooting over my head. Right over top of me. It just shot right over top of me.
Turn off your freaking...
What the was that? It shot 4 beams. You seen that?
One was purple.
It was white and blue, purple. Phone won't work. Video won't even go on. You got yours?
Yeah.
Look, my video won't even go on. The phones are fucking disrupted.
Call me schizophrenic now, bitch.
Wow. What the fuck?
First of all, I thought nightclub nights, lights.
Man is upset. Whoever this woman is, family member, friend, girlfriend, whoever, she be calling this man schizophrenic. She apologized now. She apologized.
Look at that. Look at that. Oh my God. I can't record it yet.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
You got that? You got that?
Yeah, I got it. I got it.
God damn, what
Talk
is
about
going on? I told you. Look. What the They're looking for something, and the beams are shooting across the sky.
Ricky, what if that's related to what we were seeing that one time?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, like the orbs, yes. The ones we have on video on the night vision.
What if it's that orb that
What?
saw shooting?
That's coming from out east, too. That's out east deep.
Literally in the car, right? I told her, keep her eye on the sky and lights will appear. And then look, I told her.
I see. What I told your mom the same
She
thing.
called me
What I tell you?
schizophrenic.
I told your mom the same thing on the way home. Whoa.
Look at this shit.
Wait, that
Whoa.
just shot.
Watch this. Wow, look at it. Whoa.
Wait, they just shot from that way to here.
They just shot back and forth.
Dude, this is insane.
My phone is disrupted too. The camera is all messed up.
Oh, he's schizophrenic.
All the lights
will not let that down, man.
All the lights are affected on the phone. Right? There's a glare, and it says that they affect the lights as well. Look at the glare on the lights off of everything. What in the hell was that? There's more. I see them. They're moving. I see them moving.
Should I get my
Yeah,
night
turn
vision
that light
goggles?
off so it's easier to see.
Should I get my night vision goggles?
Yes, go get the night vision goggles. Yes.
Oh, no.
It's getting brighter. You see it over there? It's getting lit up.
Night vision goggles?
What the was that?
Still forgot to put in glasses.
They shot across the sky and back. They're moving back and forth at fat lightning speed.
This was yesterday. Yeah. Look at those orbs. What in the world? Oh my God. That's crazy. These orbs are becoming more and more active, and if they are sentient or organic, man, I can only imagine what 2025 is about to have in store for us. Oof.
Yo, I'm in front of my apartment here. There's 2 stationary orbs that I'm seeing in the air, and when I zoom in on it, look at this shit. My name is Nash Ruff. Can somebody tell me what this is, please? Anybody? Check this out. Over here. I go by Zeus. EUC. Look at this. What is this?
Sound like it's moving.
What is this? It's 2 of them. This is a CGI, my friend. Look, that's the moon, right?
Yep.
You see that, right? Now watch this. What is that?
Flashing. Whatever these things are in the sky, both appear to be flashing. You would think that with his own 2 eyes, he'll be able to differentiate whether or not that this is an orb or a simple star, but I don't think these are stars. I'll be honest with you.
Flying across the sky. He's moving pretty good, too. It's an orb. Where'd he go? There he is. No plane. Just checked radar. There's nothing heading east right now. Nothing even close. It's not a star because it's flying across the sky. There it goes. You can see he's hauling butt.
I know for a fact that there are so many American citizens that have better cameras than the one that's in their pocket. They have these DSLR cameras with the zoom
Yeah,
lenses.
there's
I
a lot of them in
know
that,
this
I think.
stuff because
This,
I am a consumer
this
of
guy knows
just that.
a bit
I'm
more of
using
a,
one right now.
you know,
But I'm going to tell you this. When
he's
people are
more
outside
balanced.
and
But
these
yeah, there's a lot
drones
of
and orbs and UAPs appear, even if they're home, they don't want to take their eyes off the sky, so they got to use what camera that they have on them, and that's the one that's in their pocket, the one that will fit in their pocket, and that's their phone. That's why we keep getting these distorted video clips whenever somebody zooms in to these orbs and drones in the sky, and it's frustrating, but I mean, it's like we got to just take it. We just got to take what we get.
I've just been sent some crazy footage from central Pennsylvania of a lady witnessing something that's bus-sized floating above a tree line. It doesn't move, it doesn't make any rash decisions, it just hovers there, and it makes a very low humming noise. It doesn't sound like anything drone-like in nature, and I'll zoom in here. It just doesn't make much sense. Like, it doesn't look like any sort of recognisable aircraft. The lights are weirdly patterned over it. Look at that. What is that? And listen to this audio.
Oh my God, I can't believe this.
Look, hold on, I noticed something. At first I thought I was tripping, but I don't think I am. If you pay attention here, let me zoom in a little bit, get a little closer. This section of light, this pink purplish color of light right here in the bottom left corner, it looks as though that section is moving towards these other sections. I'm counting what looks like 4 sections. You got this one, this one, this one, and this one. And this one looks like it's moving back and forth towards the other ones. I'm gonna show you what I mean. Okay, look, right now it look like it's closer, and at some points it look like it's slightly further away. Like right now, it look like it's a bit further away. It looks like it moves. Like it's not attached.
This lady lives nearer the countryside, so whatever this is isn't over anywhere populated. It's just, I don't know. The lights, the shape of it, the way it's sort of displaying itself, it doesn't look correct. I have no idea. I'm going to leave some links to the subreddit down below, some of the discussions. Lots of people are kind of losing their mind, and there's some quite experienced people in the field of aircraft that don't understand what's going on. I don't know. You guys let me know. This is a crazy sighting for sure.
Here is the original clip of that video that we just watched a moment ago. You can see more detail in this clip as far as the lights pattern and what they're doing, how it's blinking, the movement. Like I said, I feel like this could be either 3 separate pieces, 2 separate pieces, or possibly even 4. I promise you this piece right here is moving in. It looked like it went from being almost lined up with this piece over here to now it's moved in closer towards the center. Yeah, absolutely. Look, it's lined up with this top left piece, and then by the end of it, it is shifted towards closer to the center of these objects, whatever this is in the sky. I knew I was seeing what I thought I was seeing. Now this is an interesting clip. This woman proclaimed she was sitting at home watching YouTube when a strange noise interrupted her YouTube feed. And this is something we've seen happen with radio, but never on a streaming platform. Listen to this.
It's happening again. And my mom will come back. What?
I might have to play some flat earth stuff about that stuff for now. Just to reminisce. What's that?
Sounds like an alien.
What the fuck is that?
Wow, look at that.
Streaming interruptions. To help improve streaming quality, check your network connection. Is that what streaming interruptions sound like all of a sudden? Is this like a new thing?
Yes.
Well, her at least, because she runs to them.
And then was there like a reason for that? That you guys became more like sisters instead of like mother and daughter kind of thing?
That's not normal.
Yeah, but you can easily add the audio, right?
Have you ever heard this before, ever? Like on the radio or anywhere? When it's being like buffering or losing connection? Like, I've never heard this before.
Not like that.
It's weird.
Tuesday, January 14th at 7:47 p.m. in central New Jersey. The eye in the sky comes by to say hi.
That's the star. I did it on like, I've got a video of him at, I think, I did it on a live the other day. What happens when you zoom into a star?
What? Pay attention to the dates on these videos. January the 14th, that was just yesterday, Tuesday. These sightings of these orbs are still happening. They're recent. This stuff, it hasn't slowed down, hasn't stopped, but the reporting on it has. But as long as I'm on this platform, oh no, we're gonna keep covering. Y'all might just have to remind me.
Find my video.
It's like I said before, when it comes to the drones in the sky, it's hard to differentiate whether we're seeing drones or actual airplanes. It's almost as if I have to just kind of bank on the fact that the person that's capturing these lights in the sky know that they're capturing drones and not airplanes, or at least not trying to pull the wool over our heads by making us think that they're capturing drones when really it's airplanes that we can't really see that well because of the distortion coming from the camera.
Here's the moon. Here's the star.
That's what you call plasmoid.
What the fuck is that?
Bright. So bright.
What is that?
Big.
That is in our atmosphere. That is so close. Like, I feel like I could totally see it with my naked eye. It's huge. Like, that's crazy. I've never seen a star so bright in the sky.
I think the North Star is bright.
Watch it long enough.
I don't think that's the star.
Morph into something else. Like, that's just insane. Like, what?
Drone flew right over my house, dude. A huge fucking drone.
Oh, Dad, look at my camera. Dad, look at my camera. It's 3 dots. Whoa, it's 2 dots.
Well, it was 3.
It was 3.
Look at it over here. It's
Whoa.
phone. Can you zoom in? Zoom in?
It's not letting me.
Y'all, what the hell is that in the sky?
that is floating around. It is white and it's doing circles. I thought it was birds, but it's not. It's moving. It's crazy.
What the fuck? Oh shit. Yeah, we might be in trouble. I swear. There's been more strange stuff going on in this world that's been happening in the last couple of years. Stuff like I ain't never seen before. Leave your thoughts, comments, and opinions down below. I'm gonna catch y'all in the next one. See ya. YouTube thinks you might like one of these 2 videos. I dare you click on them to find out if they're right.
So, Matt, this is my video from last week. So this is that bright star. Oh, hang on.
It's not. It's a star, everybody. It's how the camera focuses. Look. So half of these videos about plasmoids are stars. In fact, what's that above it though? That's not a star, is it? What's that? I can't see that with the naked eye. What's above that star?
Reflection.
I ain't gonna be able to focus either. Because as you all know, on YouTube, we're all rubbish at focusing. The reflection on the glass, you think, though? I know, Fluff. I'm getting closer. Right, so that's a star.
So it looks quite similar.
So let's see what it looks like when I download it and watch it on full screen. Does it look like one of those plasmoids, what you've been watching? I know, Fluffpot, I know, look. What's up? Are you going now? I'm focusing on the So look, zoom out.
It's just a 1080p camera though, you know.
See
how this triangle there, that last one did on this video.
Love it.
Look, and now it's like
that, when you get to there, look, is that plasmoiding? I've made a new word up. I want to compare. Look, you zoom out. Clearly a star.
It's that bright star, but it's like
or
sunset. Just
planet maybe.
Sunset.
It's very bright. Or the space station, but I don't know. You can see the shape of the space station now, can't you?
See it goes square down there, look. Like
see when you got it focused like that, it looks like a square thing. Oh. See if you move the camera left and right, it moves. So it's the camera that's actually morphing it. So I'm right, I'm going right, left, right. See how easy you could fake them. Right, left, right. And maximum zoom is that.
I mean, it's got something in the middle of it, look like a little round.
See how it's fluctuating?
Whatever that is.
There's that video where that girl, I think it says, "Oh, look at you, are you answering me? What a lovely star you are," or whatever. Aren't you? And it does that thing, that wobbly thing.
Would a 4K camera be better, you think?
So that's 90 times optical zoom on a Panasonic camcorder. Right, so I'm going to pause it here and get my binoculars and see how different it looks through binoculars. Because I'm sure it's going to be sharper with the binoculars.
Yeah, it was a bit sharper.
Because this is only a 1080p camera. If it was 4K, it might be better because you can get 4K ones. Well, anyway, that's it for now. Cheers for listening. See you in a bit. That's what you call a plasmoid. It's not. It's a star, everybody.
Flat Earthers
How the
run, actually.
camera
They seem to have
focuses.
gone
Look.
into hiding.
A lot of these videos about plasmoids.
Uh-oh. Oh, 1 day ago. Okay then, that'll be the last one on. Right.
Through the various supposed proofs of fakery that flat earthers have found. Now, the whole Vapegate incident and breath not being seen I've actually already addressed in this video, which I'll link below. But not to worry, there are plenty of other claims left to debunk. So let's start at the beginning. In Antarctica, we each did various live streams during our time recording the 24-hour sun. The first stream that was done was at midnight, when the sun should have most definitely set, but it hadn't. Now, Will did this live stream on the Final Experiments YouTube channel. In it, he talked about the trip, he rotated the laptop round to show the area that we were in and the sun, and then we each had an opportunity to say a few words ourselves on camera. And this is where we ran into conspiracy number one. The green screen. Now, when Critical Think came on to speak, he wanted to go and show his weights experiment that he'd set up in the hut. So he and Will went inside with the laptop to show that. However, unbeknownst to us at the time, because we were all just standing outside and not actually watching the stream, the numbers on the scales weren't visible, because the backlight of the scale screen was green. And Will's laptop had the green screen chroma key option enabled because he usually films in front of a green screen. So it was replacing the scales screen with the black background that he usually uses. Now, that in of itself was neither here nor there. However, once Will went back outside, I spoke, then Mike spoke, then Jaren, Lisbeth and Austin, and then finally Jonathan. And when Jonathan appeared on screen, there was a big black patch and the letters TFE appearing on his top, which, as you can imagine, sent people into meltdown claiming green screens. Now, as you can see from the photos that I took at the time, Jonathan's top actually has a teal-coloured patch on it, which is where TFE was showing up. Will's chroma key option was just replacing that patch with his usual TFE background, which ironically shows that we can't have been in front of a green screen, because if we were, then whatever we were displaying on the background would have also displayed on Jonathan's top. The funniest part about this conspiracy for me is it nearly didn't happen, because after Jaren, Lisbeth and Austin had all been up to speak, Will just pressed on with the stream, seemingly forgetting that Jonathan hadn't yet spoken. Which is kind of understandable, because Jonathan was there just constantly filming us. So you kind of forgot he was one of the group rather than an outside observer. So we actually ended up just the other side of the laptop from Will, basically gesturing towards Jonathan to try and point out to Will that Jonathan had been missed. So Jonathan almost didn't end up on the stream, so the chroma key glitch would have never have appeared. Then after that stream had finished and Will started to see the comments being made about the whole green screen, we wound up doing another stream later on to highlight the clear lack of green screen, which not only involved Will showing various coloured objects, now with the chroma key option disabled on his computer, But he also flew his drone, and MC Toon streamed live at the same time to give a second vantage point, even at one point having the cameras of the live streams facing towards each other. All in an attempt to show that we weren't in front of a green screen. And I even recorded Will's drone flight on my camera, and all of this was also caught on the 360 cameras as well. But even this stream brought claims of fakery along with it, because Will's drone has a collision warning system, which beeps.
Quiet and listen to the
green
beat,
screen.
man.
Sorry. This drone would not be able to fly backwards toward MC Toon, who's also live streaming.
Who cares?
And who's also...
And now it's beeping that he's getting closer to it.
It was beeping, and people seem to think that was somehow the drone being near the edge of the studio.
Yes, maybe he's just launching.
Right, now I'm going to come right back
It got close to the screen. It got close to the screen in the studio. That's what happened. And Toon tried to cover it up by walking toward the thing, but it was beeping way fast. If you listen, when it goes away from Toon, it goes beep, 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 and starts slowing down. And then it gets off in the distance and starts going dee 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 dee, and then Toon starts walking to it. If it was because of Toon, it would have started off slow and gotten faster.
Now, Where's Wally has actually put together a synced up video showing the view from Will's and Toon's live streams, the recording from the drone itself, Mark Herman was recording, as well as the video that I captured.
So obviously, there was a green screen. This drone would not be able to fly backwards toward MC Toon, who's also live streaming. And who's also filming the drone. Alright, now I'm going to come right back to us. Alright.
Seemingly they overlook that when the drone first starts up, it's right next to a stand with a laptop on it. Then, as the drone is backing away, MC Toon is walking along with it, and the drone beeps are going off. MC Toon then stops, the drone carries on moving away from him, eventually the beeping then stops. Will starts bringing the drone back towards the laptop, the beepings then start as it's getting near to Toon again. So, yes, of course, the drone is beeping because it's detecting Toon as a potential obstruction. And the funny thing is, they claim that the drone starts beeping up again because it's reaching the edge of the studio wall. But you can see from the footage how far away the drone goes from Will, and then he brings it back. After he's brought it back again, I went walking off down the same path to take some photos. You can see me on the time-lapse footage as well as in the background of Will's stream. And I walked much further away than the drone went. So why didn't I walk into a wall? But anyway, after we then recorded the full 24-hour sun, the first standalone video we published was a 48-second time-lapse view of the sun circling around us. And that went up on my YouTube channel. This was a sped-up clip that was taken from the full 25-minute 360-degree time-lapse. The full 360 time-lapse was some 36 gigabytes in file size, which was just too much to upload on the camp's internet. So I made a sped-up tracked version, which was less than 300 megabytes, much more manageable for shared Wi-Fi. And as a side note, as this was the first video that we were publishing of the 24-hour sun, I felt it was appropriate that Will himself publish it, since it was him that made the whole trip possible.
We are publishing our first time-lapse of the 24-hour sun right here in Antarctica. Done.
But once that video went live, flat earthers quickly began looking for faults with it. And the first one that I saw people bring up, I think it came from Flat Earth Banjo, who'd noticed that near the end of the time lapse, you can see sunlight shining down the side of my tracked camera.
You see that the light is shining towards the side of the camera, meaning that the source of the light,
I don't even like his
the
voice.
sun, is really coming from the east and not from the south. Okay, so these guys got busted, and they will have to lie for the rest of their lives, just like Buzz Aldrin.
And of course, how could sunlight be shining down the side of a camera if the camera is supposed to be tracking towards the sun? Well, the simple answer is that it had stopped following the sun at that point. In the 360 time lapse, you can see that the tracker actually reverses direction and starts spinning the camera away from the sun, which then, of course, causes the sunlight to be approaching the camera from the side and lighting up the side of it. Mind you, this is the same Flat Earth Banjo that thinks he's debunked the entire final experiment by comparing the elevation of the sun in one of our video clips to the elevation of the sun seen at a similar latitude in the Northern Hemisphere in Svalbard in Norway in June. However, it seems Flat Earth Banjo either didn't notice, or he was hoping his audience wouldn't notice, that he's looking at the midnight sun in the north at midnight. It's actually written quite clearly there on the screen. Now in Antarctica, the sun reached its lowest elevation when it was south of us, which was out over Mount Rossman. But you can see in the footage of MC Toon, the sun is over behind the hut that we were staying in. And looking at the 360 footage, you can easily see that the hut is in the opposite direction to Mount Rossman. So really, all that Flat Earth Banjo has actually managed to confirm with this is that the sun at midday is higher than the sun at midnight. Then the next claim I faced came from King Nico, who had a debate with Fight the Flat Earth about the final experiment.
What popped into mind was the Las Vegas Sphere. Not that they were in Las Vegas and did it there, but in Las Vegas, they have a sphere, a massive sphere, LED screens, 8K. You can see images on the outside of it and on the inside. So I've seen some footage of, locations similar to Antarctica with mountains and a sun moving across the sky inside of the sphere. So I'm like, that's it. They must have somehow knocked up a sphere, or there's another sphere in Antarctica that we don't know about.
This was after I'd got back to the UK, and his claims were so bewildering, I wound up joining the discussion just to try and wrap my head around it. I just want to check this here. So you acknowledge that we didn't fake the footage from taking off from Punta Arenas, flying to Antarctica, that going to Union Glacier Camp.
Yeah.
That is us
all
in
that
Antarctica.
Is real. You guys can
great.
prove that, and I'm not gonna say that that's wrong. You guys are gonna have footage of you guys sleeping in the heated tents or whatever it is and walking around that area. But I'm saying that there's gonna be parts where you traveled supposedly 5 miles to do the shoot for the 24-hour sun, and obviously that is not at the Union Glacier Camp because you obviously can't see it in the footage, so you had to travel away. And what I am saying is that because I know for a fact, because, God says, the sun is not going to do an orbit east to west 24 hours in the South Pole. So the only way that could have been baked is through the means of virtual studios.
So he's openly accepting that we went to Antarctica, but he's claiming that because we didn't film the sun from the main Union Glacier camp, that must then mean we'd prepared this giant dome studio made up of all LED TV panels away from the main camp. And that we were then instead being driven from the main Union Glacier camp to the dome studio to create the 24-hour footage, whilst presumably he thinks that outside of the studio, the sun was setting. Even Eric Dubé has actually jumped on this idea that we used a studio of LED panels to fake the 24-hour sun.
Unbeknownst to most, for the past few years, portable, panoramic, 360-degree LED studio setups now exist and are being used for Hollywood productions like The Mandalorian and many others.
Although I'm not entirely sure he's as willing to accept that we were in Antarctica. Possibly the studio was just somewhere else entirely. Although I'm not even sure why Eric Dubé is so desperate to try and dismiss the 24-hour sun, because he's been saying for weeks that it doesn't prove anything.
Unfortunately for Will, and to the surprise of no flat earthers, the results of his experiment haven't changed people's minds and aren't the final words on anything. As I said would happen, back when this idea was introduced, in typical globe apologist fashion, the final experiment has conflated a celestial observation with our terrestrial foundation.
So why does he care if it actually happened or not? But anyway, we're going to tackle this in two parts. Firstly, Nico's idea that we've built some giant studio in Antarctica. Now, several of us filmed the flight from Punta Arenas to Union Glacier, which Nico's seen, and he's happy the flight footage is real. That's why he's happy to accept we were in Antarctica. And as we approached landing, Union Glacier Camp was visible out of the left side of the plane. I was sitting on the right, so I didn't film it, but I did at least capture a photo of Union Glacier Camp from across the aisle. But Critical Think recorded the whole flight from the left side. This is his footage. That is Union Glacier Camp and the skiway where the small planes of theirs land. And then there is this loop that they have for people to run, ski, or bike around. In fact, we also took a scenic flight in one of the Twin Otters around the mountains, and Critical Think recorded some footage out of the window during takeoff, and we flew around Halfway Point. You can see clearly where Halfway Point is in relation to the main camp. Then there was actually an ice marathon that was held there a few days before we arrived. And for the marathon, they added a dogleg extension onto the loop to extend it out to 10 kilometers, I believe it was. Now, on that dogleg, they placed a cabin and some toilets for staff who were there helping the runners. Now, because that point was halfway round the loop, it therefore became referred to as Halfway Point. And this is where ALE offered to station us for recording the 24-hour sun, because there was concerns that from the main Union Glacier camp, Mount Rossman might obstruct our view of the sun, but from Halfway Point it wouldn't. And you can see, looking at our views from Halfway Point, you can see the turns in the track. I then recorded this footage of someone walking along the regular loop, so they were walking along the straight section of path, and we were located in the dogleg section with Mount Rossman visible in the background. I even showed Nico a section of the time-lapse footage where we all climbed into the back of the Tucker and it drove us away from the site. I even have that same moment in real time from the 24-hour video recording from Will's 360 camera. Then, during our time at Halfway Point, we caught one of the Twin Otter planes actually coming into land at the main camp. Again, Will's 360 camera picked it up as it approached and landed. And upon hearing the plane approaching, because I'd been warned by staff that it would be landing, I walked off down the path with Jonathan to try and get as close to the camp as possible to record it. Now, unfortunately, you don't see the plane touch down at the main camp because the whole camp is obscured by a rise in the ice. Yes, the ice isn't flat. In fact, they even took us trekking over hills of ice. Anyway, the point is that we had an aerial view of our camp only a few hours before we were there, and there is no giant studios anywhere in sight. And you can see from the all of the 360 footage, we were only away from Halfway Point for about 90 minutes each time while they took us back to the main camp for meals. So we can't have been that far from the main camp. But of course, there is still the idea that maybe we were never in Antarctica and that we were just in some giant studio somewhere else entirely, and everything that you're seeing is being projected on LED screens around us, just like they used for the production of The Mandalorian. Except there's a few glaring problems with that idea. If you look at the footage from the Mandalorian series, when they're using those LED studios, you'll notice none of the actors cast shadows, because shadows are created when an object is obscuring light from a light source. But if you're surrounded 360 degrees by LED screens projecting out a landscape, then you have light coming at you from all directions, which then removes all shadows. And yet everything in Antarctica clearly is casting shadows. And just to be clear, projecting a bright sun onto an LED TV screen does not replicate shadows like the sun creates. I can demonstrate this easily by displaying our time-lapse footage onto a curved computer monitor and placing an object in front of the screen. And you can see, as I move the footage around so the sun is in different parts of the screen, there are no solid shadows being cast and following that sun. The way they produce shadows in the Mandalorian studios is by having a full lighting rig above the LED screens. The screens only actually cover the walls of the studio because the cameras are always looking horizontal. So they can have lighting above the ceiling that is out of sight of the camera, and that shines light down onto the actors set up to match whatever they're displaying on the background. But all of our footage was a full 360-degree view in all directions. And even when we were live streaming, there were times that we had the cameras angled quite high up, clearly showing the sky, and there's no lighting rigs above us. So if we were really surrounded in all directions by LED screens, absolutely nothing would be casting a shadow. The 360 video that I just showed of us getting off the 757 actually helps with two other arguments that flat earthers have put out: no footprints and the sun changing shape.
Anytime close-up footage of their feet was shown, their footprints always failed to make any impression in the snow.
Even though if you compare from the start of the time-lapse footage and run through to the end, you can see you clearly get more footprints the later on you go. But the simple reason why there's no footprints is because the snow that we were walking on was actually heavily compacted. Bear in mind, you don't get much snow in Antarctica anyway, so there's only a thin layer over basically a lot of ice. And as I pointed out earlier, we were on part of the route that they used for the ice marathon a few days before. Now, runners do not want to run through soft snow. They want firm ground. The grooves all over the ground you can see came from ALE's tractors that had been marking out the route by dragging a big snowplow behind them, which packed down the snow. So it was actually much closer to ice in texture. You can see as I get off the 757 and onto terra firma, I'm not leaving any footprints there behind me either because the ground is so firm. Here's a clip I took of the Tucker leaving camp, and at this point, this is full of people and gear because it's taking them up to the ice runway. And you will notice how several tons of truck leaves barely a mark on the ground, so you can imagine how much of a little impact a lone person is going to make. The area that we were walking in at halfway point.
Cheers, mate. Good night, mate.